Hi everybody, it's Cary Fridley, and today we're going to learn about the parts of the banjo and the names of the strings. So this is my banjo. It's an open back banjo. So some banjos have a resonator that covers this up and it makes it a lot louder. But the old-timey banjos and the ones that are new, made to sound old-timey, have an open back. People will put a mute in it up against the bridge to make it sound more like a drum. So speaking of the bridge, this is the bridge, this right here. Now the bridge can float around, you can move it, but its main purpose is to transfer the sound from the strings to the head and be amplified by this sound cavern behind here. The sound will come out here, but it also comes out the back. And the bridge has little notches for each string, and it's calibrated just right. Now the bridge, it's supposed to be in a certain place. You want the bridge to be, lined up with the neck. This is the neck. And the bridge is supposed to stay where when you hit the string open, and then at the 12th fret, which is exactly supposed to be halfway between the bridge and where it's bent over this piece right here, the nut. This is the nut and the bridge. So halfway is the 12th fret. So I know this is 5th fret because of that's where the 5th string is. 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. So let's hear if it's in tune. Pretty good. And the other ones should be in tune too. 5th string will be 5 frets up. So my bridge is in the right place, thank goodness. So let's look at some other parts of the banjo. You can see this right here. This is the armrest. This is the tail piece. And tail pieces can come in all kinds of shapes and sizes. The strings come over the nut, down to the bridge, through the tail piece, and then they're attached down there. Okay. These are the brackets, and they hold the rim. They keep it tight. If your banjo feels too floppy, you can take it to the music store and have them tighten the head. But often the heads now come pre-tightened and you just put it right on there. But in the old days, I'm sure they were. What else can we talk about? So this is the neck, of course. This is the heel. There's a thin layer of wood laid on top of the neck that's softer, and that is the fingerboard. And that's where your fingers glide up and down. These metal train tracks are called the frets. Now, the frets also refer to this box here. So this metal thing is the first fret, but also for playing purposes, when I say put your finger in the first fret, it's within this box. Usually the best place to put it is right up on the edge there. kind of bending it over. So first fret, second fret, third fret, fourth fret, fifth fret has the dot. And also this is where the fifth string starts up high. So if you haven't noticed that already, let's look at the strings. We number them from the ground up. So holding the banjo, sitting on your leg, having it go out to the left. So your left hand is the fretting hand, and your right hand is playing hand. So the strings, first string is on the edge closest to the ground. So 1, play it down here, 1, moving in, 2, 3, 4. Fourth string is the deepest, lowest one. And then because the fifth string starts at the fifth fret, it's high. And that is because when you play the banjo, you're often playing around here, and this fifth fret string just rings and rings and rings, and it gives it a drone sound, which is a note that always sounds. I'll play a little bit for you. Let's see. Okay, that's Cripple Creek. The crows liked it, so must have been all right. What else about the banjo? So tuners. This is a tuner, and then these are the tuners. They tighten the strings, and they're also, here's the back of them, they have gears in them. Now the earliest banjos were made out of things you find around in Mother Nature. So these gear tuners are a modern invention. But when people are tuning the banjo, they're tightening the strings to be the exact tightness to get the right note. So my banjo is tuned in the key of G, and that's a basic tuning for banjo music. It sounds already like music without doing anything at all. That's the great thing about the banjo. So you can bar it and it still sounds good. I'm just raising everything up the same distance. Sounds good. The names of the strings, the musical note names. The fifth string, the highest one, let's start with number 5. That is a G, a high G. Fourth string is a D. And then we have a G, which is kind of in a lower, it's in a lower register. Then B, then another D. So here I'll do it without talking in between. Starting on the 5th, G, D, G, B, D. So the 5th and the 3rd are G's. One's high and one's low. The 4th and the 1st are D's. Low, octave higher. So that's G tuning. If you take the D note and fret it at the 5th fret, you get the G note, which should match up to the 3rd string. So you see what I'm doing? I'm fretting this one. Whoops, yeah. And they should match. So that's how I check my tuning. I say, do I have these? Does this match up with the... And then, are those D's matching? And then you just have to do your best with this persnickety B string. If you're new to playing the banjo, it's perfectly fine to let somebody else tune it for a while until you get used to hearing how it's supposed to sound. That takes a while, so it's normal. All right, what's left on the parts of the banjo? The fingerboard we talked about. The tuners, or the tuning pegs, if you have an old one with the pegs stuck in there. The neck, the frets, the rim, the bridge, the armrest, the tailpiece, the strings, the headstock. That is at the top of the neck where the tuners go. Headstock. All right, I think that's a good start for new students who are learning their way around the banjo. Next step would be to learn the claw hammer stroke.